Hi everyone, welcome to the video. Thank you for tuning in. Today's crypto in focus is ADA, which is the native token of the Cardano blockchain and cryptocurrency project, one of the major cryptos out there on the market. It currently sits at 13th on the overall list of cryptos based on circulating market cap, and it's remained in the top 20 for a while, so a lot of potential behind it, as I'll talk about throughout this video. Before I elaborate on these prices, just an overview in terms of what's in store for today. What is ADA, Cardano, IOHK, and other terms that I'll mention throughout this video. Key features of Cardano at the moment. We've got the roadmap and information about staking and any other relevant details coming up in the video. Some partnerships and use cases. How to store your ADA, price targets, and crypto supply info, in addition to a quick summary of the key terms. And an important reminder before I continue, none of this is legal, tax, and or financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please always do your own research. So Cardano's price today, as of recording this, it is per crypto just over 4 cents per ADA. There's a circulating supply of just under 26 billion ADA, a total supply of just above 31 billion, and a maximum supply here, 45 billion ADA. Looking at the historical prices of the crypto, it started off at a fraction of a cent, and in a space of 2 to 3 months, it absolutely went ballistic up to, according to this, $1.24. The point is, it skyrocketed in value in a very short period of time, but of course, as was the case with various cryptos towards the end of 2017 or early 2018, the prices plummeted again and they've remained between, say, 3 and 10 cents. Many people in the space are anticipating a huge jump once again. We will see what happens. Now, moving on to what is Cardano, and paraphrasing some of the key information here from IOHK, which is Input Output Hong Kong. This is one of the major companies involved in facilitating research and development into Cardano and its widespread application in future, what is hoped by many. So Cardano is a blockchain platform with more advanced features than any protocol yet developed. It's the first to have been produced with the scientific background to it. They're incorporating the proof of stake algorithm, which is Ouroboros, and the IOHK team have been using academic research to help build the Cardano project from fundamentals. Cardano's multi-layer protocol allows for a settlement layer that is connected to a control layer, whereby the former will have a unit of account and the latter will run smart contracts. Now, smart contracts being one of the key features of Ethereum, so do bear that in mind with Cardano as a potential competitor in future. Time will tell. As a whole, the protocol's design is geared towards protecting privacy rights of users while also taking into account the needs of regulators. So it can balance these requirements in an effective way and establishing a new approach for cryptocurrencies. Another key selling point is that it is open source and patent free, so it was built in the spirit of collaboration and it's been produced for efficiency and scalability. So the Cardano ecosystem is developing out into one of the most complete and most useful cryptocurrencies ever constructed. That's a major claim, but it is showing a lot of promise nevertheless. Moving on to Cardano's roadmap, which is divided into 5 different eras. For those not looking at the screen, we've got Byron, Shelley, Gauguin, Basho, and Voltaire. We are currently at the Shelley phase or the Shelley era. So a lot of emphasis being placed at the moment on the decentralization phase. If we jump over to the Shelley phase here, so paraphrasing some of this info, the Shelley era of Cardano is a period of growth and development for the network. One of the key purposes of the Shelley era is that it involves the critical early stages in Cardano's mission to optimize decentralization. These will be small but significant steps nevertheless, and over time we'll see improvements. When you think about it, you compare the internet in its infancy to what it is now, and it's a millionfold better. So this could be the case for Cardano. During the Byron era, the network was federated, but as the Shelley era progresses, more and more nodes will shift towards being run by the Cardano community, thus allowing for greater security and a more decentralized platform. There'll be the introduction of a delegation and an incentive scheme. So that refers to people being able to stake their crypto to help the overall functioning of the network and then be rewarded accordingly for that. And later in this, I'll be talking about staking and what is planned as part of the Shelley incentivized testnet. Let's see how successful they are in actually achieving that. One of the major selling points of the Shelley era is that they expect, or the team behind Cardano expects it to be 50 to 100 times more decentralized than other major blockchain networks, with the incentive scheme designed to reach equilibrium around 1,000 stake pools. For comparison, other significant blockchain networks are often controlled by less than 10 mining pools, creating a risk of the system being compromised by any nefarious behavior. So that is something Cardano aims to avoid by having this greater decentralization with more of these stake pools. Furthermore, another key incentive of the Cardano network is that it runs at a fraction of the power cost in comparison to proof-of-work blockchains, which is, for example, Ethereum, which uses a proof-of-work protocol, but there is a plan for it to migrate onto a hybridized proof-of-work and proof-of-stake system, because proof of work is highly energy intensive, and that is one of the major drawbacks to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and others running on proof of work at the moment. That is a major issue that needs to be overcome. So Cardano has its advantages, it has its drawbacks as well. We'll see what happens moving forward. One of the core aspects of the Cardano network is the proof of stake algorithm called Ouroboros, or there are various pronunciations of that. But Ouroboros plays an integral part of the infrastructure that supports the overall ADA cryptocurrency and is something revolutionary in blockchain technology. It allows for scaling of the network without consuming vast amounts of energy at the same time. And Ouroboros, according to this, is the first proof of stake protocol that has mathematically been shown to be provably secure and was the first to be peer-reviewed via its acceptance at Crypto 17. So it's a leading cryptography conference. I have a list of the academic papers available here, and this is through the Cardano website. And clicking on all of the IOHK original research library, there's a ton of, 52 papers here available if you're interested. Just my thoughts so far. What I'm very impressed by is a detailed analysis of everything here, and the fact that there's a scientific backing. So it's following a scientifically rigorous process with peer-reviewed journal articles being produced about proof of stake mining, or Ouroboros here. Detailed white paper when you consider all the different eras to it and the partnerships that are being made, which I'll talk about shortly. So far, I see a lot of promise behind this. Now I want to provide a quick intro to the institutions involved in developing the Cardano project. So we have the Cardano Foundation. So it has the following objectives, and some of these include driving adoption of Cardano, shape legislation and commercial standards, growing the global Cardano community, ensuring stakeholder accountability, and facilitating partnerships. IOHK, of course, has been one of the major companies spearheading the project. One of the most prominent individuals at IOHK is Charles Hoskinson, who is keeping active on social media, updating people about the project, or IOHK, Cardano, and so forth. So good on him. Great profile pic whilst I'm at it. And the third major player behind Cardano is Emergo. So they are working at improving the adoption of Cardano, and this ties in with the research and development of the decentralized blockchain ecosystem. Some information here about what they're doing. So systems development, education and academy, investment and accelerator, so that's in reference to startups. They also do advisory services about blockchain tech. Before I elaborate, none of this is paid advertising at all. Now, Emergo have been involved in producing what's called the Yoroi wallet, and this is a segue into how to store your ADA. So Yoroi wallet is one of the major wallets involved in being able to store your ADA using offline hardware wallet. If you're looking for a way to store your crypto offline, at the moment what you do is you download the Yoroi wallet through Ledger. If we scroll down the list of supported cryptos, we can see Cardano is supported on Yoroi wallet and ADA Lite. Not just for Ledger, but Trezor wallet also has the same support for the two, or Trezor Model T there. Just a quick mention on the topic of hardware wallets, offline wallets. KeepKey is another one that as an alternative to Ledger and Trezor. However, at the time of making this video, according to KeepKey's website, they don't support ADA yet, from what I can see based on this list. However, the official open source wallet used for ADA is Daedalus. When the staking option goes on the mainnet, you'll be able to then stake crypto. So there's further information here about it. I haven't used the Daedalus wallet yet. There is also, I forgot to mention, what people tend to do, and this is not recommended, but you can store your ADA on an online exchange. You do so at your own discretion, but bear in mind you're not holding the private keys. That's just a quick summary of what's available. Before I elaborate on price targets and the info I have in regards to that, I want to talk about some of the key partnerships that Cardano has entered into. So one that comes to mind is that it's formed a partnership with New Balance to deal with authenticity on the blockchain. So this is a Crypto Slate piece, just a few lines from this. Back in October in 2019, so IOHK announced it was partnering with footwear company New Balance. They're working together to create NB Real Chain, a blockchain for confirming the authenticity of New Balance's retail products. Actually, just as a minor correction, this was announced back in the Cardano Summit in Bulgaria. But in a blog post by IOHK available here, and I'll provide a link in the description, there's more information about the partnership between the two. The purpose of this is to ensure that the collector's edition shoes that it sells are genuine products and they're not counterfeit items. This ties in with something that VeChain has been doing in Asia to ensure authenticity in the supply chain. There's potential competition there. Interesting to see what happens moving ahead. This new system will enable users to enter their New Balance purchases on the Cardano blockchain. The immutable and transparent nature of blockchain tech will allow anyone to easily access the data and confirm whether a certain product is authentic. It's a major step ahead for blockchain tech, and there's more information in the rest of that article there by Crypto Slate. One of the biggest partnerships that IOHK announced was with the Georgian government and universities there. For clarity, if geography is not your forte, I'm not referring to the US state of Georgia. I'm referring to the country Georgia, situated between Europe and Asia. Excellent to see that they're embracing blockchain technology, and Cardano will benefit from this memorandum of understanding, or the company, or IOHK. It took nearly a year of work from IOHK's CEO, Sir Charles Hoskinson, to sign the MOU with the government and two of Georgia's largest universities. It was in June last year. He paid a trip to Tbilisi to meet up with government reps, or from the Ministry of Education, to get people to adopt Cardano and then improve innovation in the country there. Well done to them, because it says here, one of the core goals of the MOUs signed this week is to enable the use of Cardano-backed blockchain technology to store, track, and verify educational credentials, such as degree certificates, removing the need for time-consuming and expensive manual verification. It's great to see these countries or even cities step in to adopt blockchain technology and the use of reputable cryptocurrencies to get more technological solutions and improving their overall systems. I think it's a step in the right direction. Before I move on to the price information, just touching on this article, another piece from Crypto Slate, which talks about Cardano about to launch an ADA payment network, which will allow for instant settlement into 35 different currencies or fiat currencies around the world. So then it would allow merchants to then accept payments in ADA. Thank you for your patience thus far. Now moving on to the prices. Because my slideshow presenter's playing up on me, I'm going to show all the info here. We'll just run through it one by one. So analyzing the data at CoinMarketCap and the various Cardano publications as well, I've picked the circulating supply of 35 billion ADA. So just for simplicity, just the one circulating supply. For some context, as a reminder, we're at 29.9 billion ADA for the circulating supply. We have a total supply of 31.1 billion ADA, and then a maximum of 45 billion. Before I go into the prices, I want to point out how did I get the maximum figure. Beyond the information here on CoinMarketCap, the primary source of info for this was from Cardano. Just bear with me for a sec. Okay, here we go. So many tabs as you can see. The Genesis block distribution from the Cardano website. Just pointing out the key info, the public sales distribution accounts for roughly 25.9 billion ADA. If we jump back to CoinMarketCap, you see this figure here. So that matches the circulating supply data that they have. So that's where I got the circulating supply. The total supply, which includes the holdings from the Cardano Foundation, IOHK, and Emergo, those three combined account for just over 5.1 billion ADA. That leads to the total supply at present of 31.112 billion ADA tokens. And if we go back to CoinMarketCap, that's the total supply figure there. The max supply, I got it from this website. So when I open this for the first time, it comes up with this message. For those not looking at the screen, please be aware that large parts of this documentation are currently out of date and should be used with care. We are working on updating this documentation as quickly as possible. Thank you for your patience. So do bear this in mind. However, the maximum supply, which I still believe is current, it says here there will never be more than 45 billion ADA in circulation. So that is how I've come up with this hypothetical circulating supply of 35 billion ADA. Assuming that each one gets to $2, and it previously hit an all-time high, and I say this was early 2018 or late 2017 when we had that meteoric rise. You need to factor in that we have much better infrastructure, we have more general interest in crypto and more awareness of it. I see $2 per ADA being easily attained, even by the time we get to like a 30 billion ADA circulating supply. There is something I want to mention that I forgot to include. You need to consider inflation as well. How quickly would we get to, say, 30 or 35 billion ADA tokens? I struggled to find clear information about inflation of the crypto, but I came across this. This is a line from Charles Hoskinson's piece here, or report, saying why we are building Cardano back in June 2017. If I jump over to inflation or any references to this, there's a small paragraph here that says, first, regardless of the success of a crowd sale to bootstrap development, funds will eventually dissipate. Hence, Cardano will include a decentralized trust funded from monotonically decreasing inflation and transaction fees as we approach the 45 billion number there. $2 per ADA, yes, I see that happening. That's very plausible. I'm not going to give timeframes anymore. I refrain from doing so. $2 per ADA, that would be $60 billion in circulating market cap. $5 per ADA at a circulating supply of 35 billion, that's $175 billion in a circulating market cap. We would need more partnerships to be forged around the world. The situation in Georgia, the arrangements made with New Balance and COTI or COTI, they're excellent steps in the right direction, but with time, as blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies become more mainstream, I do see much greater adoption from various stakeholders, so not just companies, but institutional investors, I believe, will see the promise behind Cardano. And more retail investors as well will be pushing the prices up gradually. $10 per ADA, that would be a $350 billion market cap. Very neat return on investment, even at $5 per ADA, or for some people $2 would be very happy with that as well. We would need to see Cardano being, I would say, one of the leading smart contracts platforms, or whatever they're doing with dApps as well, or if they're involved in verifying the authenticity of certain products. Like, they would need to be establishing as one of the heavyweights in the industry, I would say, or would need the entire industry to just go gangbusters. When I say industry, I'm referring to cryptocurrencies in general. I envisage, something I forgot to mention, is the overall crypto market cap, which I like to throw in an estimate. I anticipate this, so at $350 billion for ADA, I would say $4 to $5 trillion crypto market cap would need to be achieved. Plausible as well. As we start getting up to $30 per ADA, that's when it becomes a bit of a stretch. It's about a 900 times increase from where we are now. Actually, a bit more than that. Enormous. That would be incredible growth. And that's where we see ADA or Cardano project going into the trillions, or hitting over $1 trillion for the circulating market cap. Could we achieve those? I don't know. I mean, it's also possible. I want to play devil's advocate here. I know some people would like to see the other side of the spectrum. Could ADA hit $0 and just go bust? Could it all become a bit of a flop? I don't think so. It's a very comprehensive and scientifically backed program that has a lot of potential. As in, I don't see it going downhill anytime soon. A reminder of the historical prices. So if you compare the price to its inception, it's still up. Of course, not as high as it was when there was the hype, that insane period of growth, but there's still a top 15 crypto. And the team, IOHK, Cardano Foundation, and Emergo, there are no signs that they're going to abandon the project. It's all going up, in my opinion. Not financial advice, of course. But what are your thoughts on the prices and what could happen to the Cardano project, IOHK and their involvement, the Cardano Foundation, the roadmap, all the other information here? I look forward to your feedback. Two things I forgot to mention, both in regards to staking. We're at the Shelley incentivized testnet, as I touched on before. So you can play around with some of the data here, whether you choose to run a stake pool or delegate your stake, earning some free ADA in return for using it on the network. Well, you can plug in your data here, and on the testnet, I'm fairly optimistic that they'll migrate this to the mainnet sometime soon. And a shout out to the team at stakingrewards.com. If you're interested in looking at what you could obtain from staking a crypto and the potential returns and all of that, staking calculators you can use here for various cryptos. So stakingrewards.com, information here about stakeable assets that are launching soon. So Cardano is on that list as well. It says here launch date in Q2 2020, so that's still a few months away. But just reading info from this message that I got from the fine folk at Staking Rewards, says the calculator they have allows to estimate staking rewards for all the different coins, and you can put in custom inputs such as staking time, fees, hosting cost, coin price, compounding or not, and play with the sliders to make network assumptions for how many coins the total supply can have, how many coins you could have in staking. So there's Stellar, for example, and when ADA is available for staking, I'll launch this again in the future. So something for you to play around with there in the meantime, if you're interested. And if you want more info about inflation rates for your favorite cryptos or cryptos that you're interested in at all, here is Viewbase. You'll need to log in for comprehensive stats there, and a link to all of these excellent resources in the description below. Thank you very much for tuning in. Just to wrap up, a very quick market summary. At the moment, so the prices have started to dip despite the major rise that we had over the past, or that we've been experiencing over the past 7 days. Ethereum at 165 per Ether, XRP at 23 cents. At 23 cents, it was down at about 18 cents a week ago. So plenty of growth throughout, doing well. Cardano was hovering at about 3.5 cents. It's now at 0.42 per ADA. And where is BAT? I always like to keep an eye out for that. Yep, the rest of the information there on the screen at CoinMarketCap if you want the latest prices 24/7. That is a wrap. Thank you very much for sticking around. This is a very long video. I've had a lot to talk about. If you want any other videos about price targets, project updates, and all that jazz, well, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to smash the bell icon as well. If you have feedback at all, feel free to leave it in the comments section. Share this with anyone who you believe will benefit. If I've left anything out, please let me know. I hope you're all having a wonderful day or evening or wherever you are. I'll speak to you soon. Take it easy, and thanks again. See you.